We are going to San Diego today from Los Angeles, and we have a full charge overnight at maximum charge, 260 rated miles. This is the satellite map of Southern California, displayed the charging station along the way. Now these little ones are the ones that this car has been to. Whenever you go charge at a place, you will put a bookmark in your map. You can selectively display just the supercharger or the chargers you have been to. So let's turn off visited charger, and you'll see that between Los Angeles and San Diego, there is really no supercharger station other than the one at Hawthorne. San Diego is about 120 to 140 miles from Los Angeles. To make it back in one charge would be pretty challenging, so you probably have to stop here on the way there or stop there on the way back. Now, worse is that there is going to be a new supercharger station somewhere near San Juan Capistrano. That will be a nice midpoint between Los Angeles and San Diego. Now let's turn on the visited charger to give an idea of where they are. We are in Santa Monica now. Here we are at West Los Angeles Tesla service station. We are charging the car with the high power Tesla wall charger, which is charging at 41 miles per hour or 60 amp. This is the fastest charger you can use other than the supercharger. Chargers are located inside this garage. So if you're here and there are no attendants, you cannot have access to the chargers. Here is the Tesla wall charger that we're using, and they have two NEMA 50. And inside the garage is a roadster charger. We have charged 8 miles in just a few minutes. We really don't need to charge full, but we're just testing out this charge station. So we're gonna leave now. So from West Los Angeles, we are 46 miles away from Costa Mesa, and that is the other Tesla service station. Tesla service station in Costa Mesa. We're about halfway between Los Angeles and San Diego. Looks like we have a Tesla high power wall charger and a roadster charger. And that's it. There are only two here, and they are constantly being used. The nice thing about this service station is there are no gates, and the chargers are accessible outdoor. Another place to charge around here is the Fashion Island Tesla showroom. We can go find out. You can also have lunch there while you're charging. Fashion Island. And as you can see, we have been here before. Google Map put a mark here. It's in a garage underground. Here in the parking garage, it's not quite obvious where that charging station is. We can use a Google Map to help us. Close to it.
We're there right now. Look on your right.
On the right.
Yeah, up there.
And oh, here we are. In the garage is the charging station. There are only two chargers.
Yep.
One is the high power wall charger, and the other one is a roadster charger. And there are currently two roadsters here. One being charged, the other one probably waiting. There are a lot of Teslas here. I think these are probably showroom cars. So when we bought the Tesla, they tell you can charge at the Tesla station anytime, which is true. But during the day, they are almost always charging either customer's car or their own showroom car. And this is what they say about charging. There is a maximum charge time of 2 hours per Model S, blah, 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 and you have to call them ahead of time to reserve. Fashion Island.
The Fashion Island trolley is getting away.
We're back from lunch, and the charge station is still fully occupied, so no luck here. You can see we're in a beautiful part of Southern California. Maybe we just take a trip to the beach.
We're going past the Balboa Bridge.
Going to Balboa Island. We are on Balboa Island. We are in San Juan Capistrano. I am right next to Union Bank at 31971 Camino Capistrano. According to reliable sources, this may be the place that Tesla is putting in a new supercharger station. We are about 80 miles from Los Angeles and about 60 to 70 miles from San Diego. We just drove around this whole parking lot and nothing is really going on in terms of construction. So let's look around here. This neighborhood is right next to Union Bank. You can see we are right next to Metro, the train, Metro Link. From San Juan Capistrano to San Diego, we are 55 miles away. And we have plenty of miles left. We started this morning, we drove 92 miles. Took a lot of detour to Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, a lot of local driving, and we have 120 miles of rated miles left. So we're gonna head off to San Diego now. Wow, we're not the only one going to San Diego.
Look at the nice evening sun setting. Look at it.
We have reached our final destination, the city of La Jolla. We are right here on the coast. This is the house we're staying. You see there is a charge station marked there. That's because we have already charged at this area and it leaves a bookmark. We are at Tesla service station in San Diego. So far from Los Angeles to San Diego, we have driven 175 miles plus around 25 miles. And now we're down to 14 miles. In the back of the building, they have these charging cables. We found a cable. It's a NEMA 50 amp. And we connect it to our NEMA connector.
And it's blue, don't
Green light.
Now it's going. Yeah.
Green is good.
Yep.
Green means we really don't need to charge right now because we are able to charge tonight at the place we are staying. But we just want to charge so we can mark this place on our map. Just showed up. We are charging at 40 amps. To charge to full, it would take 10 hours. To charge it on the run or on the road is pretty impractical. You look around, there's nothing to do around here, and there is no way you're going to sit here for 10 hours waiting for charge up. It would have to be overnight charge at wherever you're staying, either at a hotel, and many hotels do have these 220 volt outlets. We've been here for just a few minutes. We got 2 miles already. We're going to stop charging. The Tesla service station is quite a bit distance from most of the major attractions in San Diego. There is a Tesla dealer or showroom right here at University Town Center, right off La Jolla Village Drive, and we're gonna go there. We are now at Tesla showroom in University Town Center. Let me switch it to satellite view. There we go. We're in the complex in a big mall. We are right across from Pottery Barn in the parking garage. At this Tesla showroom charging station, they have 2 roadster chargers, one here and one at the far end. So in order to charge here, you need to have a adapter cable, this orange one, which they very reluctantly will lend it to you if they are there. Right now it's after hours, so there is no way to get a cable adapter. But there is a NEMA 1450 on the wall. My helpful assistant will be helping me to charge here. Is it green?
Nope. Oh,
It
yes,
is green.
it is.
All right, success. This is charging at 40 amp. As expected, it's a NEMA 1450, 220 volt. The mall is now closed, so we cannot park it overnight. I mean, we could, but then we have to sleep in the car overnight.
Yeah.
So, again, this is just for emergency, but it's not practical to charge it. And no, you gotta press it. There we go. A couple of notes here. When the battery is low, the car limits how much acceleration it can get, or as denoted by this dash line. So it can press your pedal as hard as you want, but it is limited by that bar. This is done in order to conserve battery when you're at a very low range. Another thing the car will do when the battery is very low is so-called the range mode driving. For the range mode to be operative, we have to turn it on, and it is in the menu for vehicle under setting, and you turn on range mode. Menu pops up and tells you what the range mode does. Save energy by reducing climate control, heating, cooling. Switch to range mode and you say yes. We are at our final destination with 8 miles left on the battery. And as you remember, we were at University Town Center just a few minutes ago. When we charged, it reset to 0, and now we drove another 2.6 miles. We have a typical NEMA 50. Now we're starting to charge. We are at 8 miles left, and we hope to charge to, we don't have to charge to full. We have to do is charge to the daily maximum, which will be plenty to get back to Los Angeles. It will take 10 hours overnight to charge, so when we get up tomorrow morning, we should be ready to go. Now, one thing you will notice is that the charge rate is a bit slower than what we've seen recently. The charge rate is only 20 miles per hour. That's because we're charging only at 30 amp. And it is 30 amp because the circuit we are using was based on an old clothes dryer. We run a conduit there to that wall. We will be leaving San Diego momentarily. We have 140 miles to go. Last night we charged our battery up to about 220 miles. Ran some errand this morning, and we still have 186 miles left, so we should be able to make it back without charging. We are now at the Supercharge station at Hawthorne. We took a detour off 405 on the way back to LA, and that detour added about 5 miles to the drive and took about 7 minutes extra time one way. So we drove 145 miles since charge last night. We have 45 miles left. At the Supercharger station at Hawthorne, we have 3 cars already. 2 stalls are now working, and we have 3 cars there. We got the last stall. We've been here for about 10 minutes. We charged 28 miles already. But this is a fairly slow rate for a supercharger, 150 miles per hour. There's an empty spot. I'm gonna try that one. That's much more like it. We are charging at 262 miles per hour. And that's more typical for supercharger than our first experience. In case anybody does not have a smartphone, you can surf the web while the car is being charged. And let's see, you can read about Tesla in your car. We are here back at home with 65 miles left. If we did not visit the supercharge station, we still could have made it, but just barely. The whole trip was 395 miles in 2 days. Even though the one-way distance is only 120 to 130 miles, nobody goes there and comes straight back without doing anything. You may run into traffic, as we did. We took some detour. We went around San Diego, La Jolla area quite a bit. So the actual miles between the two cities is 240. We ended up driving about 150 miles additional, just doing the detour and running errands and sightseeing. So even at 395 miles, you can theoretically just charge once. The key is to have a place to charge at the point of destination. What Tesla is doing is to put charging station along the way, which makes sense. But with a range of 260 miles, you really don't need to charge on the way, but you do need to charge at the final destination. You can make it there, get a full charge, and then come back, having to charge just once on this 395 mile trip.